Hi, this is David again, and I'd like to do a little presentation on this particular video on my experience, no one else's, and it has to do with child molestation in the Mormon Church. I want to make sure that I'm fair, and sometimes that's very hard to do, because if you've lived something or witnessed something, then you're going to be somewhat prejudiced. Again, my purpose for even saying anything is that the Mormons, these are the things that they don't tell you. These are the ways they handle things that they don't want other people to know about. My father was a child molester. I didn't know that. I was off to BYU at 19, and around my sophomore year, I got word through the family that my sister, Debbie, had accused him of molesting her for over a year. I don't know if it's 1 year, 2 years, I have no idea. She finally ran away from the house and went over to her girlfriend's house, told her girlfriend, and the girlfriend then made it known. And one of the reasons I think that my mother and father got divorced was over this issue. Now here's where these multi-complex situations arise, and then you intertwine the Mormon Church. You've got a web of weeds and trees and grass and tundra and jungle that you can hardly move one plant away from another. The Mormon Church is a wonderful place for child molesters. One of the greatest places to hide that you can. You're always given access to children. You're teaching a Sunday school class, or you're a scout leader, or you teach a primary class, the very young kids. No one is going to say anything. Oh, they'll mouths will go up and down like this. We don't want child molesters, but you know they do. They allow them to be there. They allow them to flourish. They allow them to hide in their religion because it makes the religion look bad. They don't care about the child. They don't care that it's destroyed the child's life. What they don't want is a newspaper clipping that says Mormons are weird, idiots, fools, and child molesters now. So, when my father was confronted on this, of course the first thing every child molester does, I guess, is he denies it. Well, my sister was emphatical and wasn't going to let him basically get away with it. So I got involved. I was the oldest son, and my mother, when she found out, my mother and my sister and me went over to the Ojai Ward, Ojai, California, O-J-A-I. And we talked to the bishop, I can't remember what his name was now, and the stake president. They're both sitting there in the office, 5 of us. So we tell the story that my father is a member, the active member of the Mormon Church, and he is the Sunday school superintendent, which is a puffed up position of really nothing because they don't have any authority, but he was an active elder, and we reported to the authorities. This person molested this child. Oh, you should have heard them say all the right things. Oh my God, this is terrible. The Lord and His church don't allow. Oh, it went on and on and on. You want to hear shit? That was shit. So I thought, gee, I'll just wait. They'll call Topeka, Kansas, where my father lived, and talk to their stake president and bishop and say, hey, we need to bring this guy into a court of love and love him to death out of the church. Well, I waited and I waited. Nothing ever happened. Nothing. I thought, gee, my whole life I've been trained that this church is into morality and righteousness and moral chastity and protection of children and parents have sacred obligations. I heard all of these words and all of this philosophy. Now they had a chance to produce, to do, and walk the walk, not just talk the talk. Nothing ever happened. Nothing. Nothing. My dad started a daycare center a couple of months, 6 months or whatever, after this incident. And I knew he was a child molester. Now I was torn between calling the state of Kansas and saying, gee, you know, you've just licensed a child molester to run a daycare center, and if you don't think those little girls are going to get molested, you're crazy. So, one of the harder decisions I made in my life is to turn my dad in. And I did. And they shut him down. They did more than the Mormon Church did. The Mormon Church had direct witnesses. The Mormon Church had active families, people who knew each other, and there was direct evidence. They didn't do anything. But the state of Kansas, as soon as I made that report, they shut that daycare center down. And those kids have been protected their whole lives from that man who was the Sunday school superintendent of the Ojai Ward, Santa Barbara Stake Mormon district and boundaries. I can't speak with any authority of whether molestation is any worse in the Catholic Church than it is in the Mormon Church. As a psychologist and a background of human behavior, I would say that celibacy may drive those statistics up more. I can't say for assurance that I've seen those numbers. I can't say that what I'm saying is true. I'm saying that it's an educated guess, that if men have no access to a sexual outlet, then they're probably going to molest small children more than men that have some sexual outlet, married men or whatever. So, I have seen at least 3, 5, 7 examples of the Mormon Church covering up sexual illegal behaviors by adults to children. I've seen them accuse the child of being provocative, therefore it's the child's fault. I've seen men who are in powerful positions get away with things that ordinary people couldn't get away with. So, you know, is that exclusive to the Mormon Church? Of course not. It's not exclusive. And of course the Mormons watching us will say, well, the church is true, but the people, they're still, they're trying to be perfect. They're not perfect yet, but, you know, a church is for the sick. You know, God damn, I've heard that crap. I'm telling you what happened to me and my family. We properly reported it. We waited and gave the courtesy of allowing the Mormon Church to go through its administrative process. You know what its process was? Nothing. Nothing! My sister today, her life is still ruined from these incidences with my high priest father now. He was ordained now, he was advanced in the Mormon Church priesthood after they heard about this. Now, is that the end of the story? I wish it was. He went off and he got married to another woman who brought a 10-year-old girl into the marriage. And one day I saw my stepmother crying, and I said, what's going on? She says, oh, your dad's in big trouble. I said, oh, what did he do? He says, well, I came downstairs and he's been having seminary. See, these Mormon hideout words, seminary, which means early morning scripture study. My dad decided he was going to be his own seminary class and bring his 10-year-old down into his office and the bathroom and masturbate each other. That was his seminary. He did it to my sister. Now he's doing it to my stepsister. And she said, but we have told the Mormon Church about it, and they think he's going to be okay because this is the first time that he's been involved in this kind of behavior. And I didn't know if I should betray my father, but I did, because I believe in protecting the children more than I do in protecting him. And I told her, this is not his first time. He molested my sister for over a year, and now he's molesting your daughter, and he's telling you and the Mormon church that it's his first time. It's not. Well, I've been banned from their house ever since. Did the church ever do anything to him with Dee Dee? No, they used the same administrative power they did with my sister. Zero. Nothing. Nothing. Does this happen all over the Mormon church? You decide for yourself. I'm telling you one man, one family's story who were active, good Mormons, obeying all the laws and going to church and paying their tithing. This is what happened in our family. I don't think it's an aberration. Maybe you will. You decide. I've already decided. Thank you.